Welcome to the Finance Show with Joe. He's Joe, I'm just some schmo, and we've got our very special guest, Karim, back again. And we're all in t-shirts because it's a midwinter heat wave. It's hot.
Sun's out, guns out, baby.
Not for me, though. Let's at least come down here.
I'm just trying to hold my gut in, everyone, so we've got to keep it nice and tight.
So if anyone doesn't know, Karim's been on a worldwide tour, Dubai, Lebanon, China, Yugoslavia.
Oh, here we go. People are going to think I don't work. Trust me, all I do is work.
He's back in Australia. He's back on the podcast for a second time. We're so excited to have you. So thank you so much, Karim, for coming past again. Really do appreciate you taking the time because we know how busy you are. And genuinely, you provide such good insight on the property market, the real estate market, the effects interest rates are even having. You're not a mortgage broker, but like you know the ins and outs of it as well. And that kind of leads me to my question. Today's topics are around the evolving role of the real estate agent and how that has changed so much in the last 5 years. So would you be able to give us some insight on what the modern real estate agent needs to be doing in 2024?
Jeez, where do I start? Honestly. So I'm just going to nip it in the butt right now. There's this misconception that agents just wear fancy suits, drive nice cars, put a property on realestate.com, kick back, wait for it to sell when they're done, collect their commission and go home.
Clearly not. You're in a t-shirt today.
Well, yeah, I very rarely wear suits. That's number one about me. Maybe that's just my personal style. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, has it changed? I mean, like I've only been in the industry, the first podcast we discussed, but for those that haven't seen it, since realistically 2016, start of 2016. So what's that? You know, we're 8 years in. And in that 8 years, I can tell you from where I started to where we are right now, it is day and night.
Yeah.
Literally day and night. A good real estate agent these days wears about 30 different hats. Real estate agency is number one. You got to be a real estate agent. You got to be a master negotiator. You got to be a marketing genius. You got to be a content creator. You got to be a social media influencer. You've got to be a stylist. Yep. You've got to be an architect. You've got to be a conveyancer. You've got to be a solicitor. You've got to be a psychologist. You've got to be a mediator. There are so many things that go into selling a property these days. I wouldn't know where to start or begin, but we wear so many hats. And I'm not trying to beat our chest trying to make it we've got the hardest job in the world. Every job is hard. Yeah. Everything you do in life that is rewarding is hard. There's something as easy work.
That is I'm gonna take that snippet and I'm just gonna replay it every day in my head and I'm gonna replay it to my kids because I hear this work-life balance and all this kind of stuff and, I want to be able to do this and socialize and stuff. People, I'm telling you now, the most rewarding thing in life is when you work hard, okay, and you are rewarded for those efforts.
100%.
It is just the most amazing thing.
Yeah.
I want to touch on one thing that you really stuck out to me because we haven't spoken at all about it on the show.
No.
The role of the negotiator. So explain the role of the negotiator as a real estate agent.
Look, it's hard to kind of quantify into a conversation, but I feel like the art of negotiation, I mean, I've read a ton of books in my lifetime, self-help books, negotiation books, well, it's just because I like those kind of stuff anyway. But honestly, it just comes down to understanding the person you're speaking with, understanding who they are, what they want. I'm not trying to squeeze every single drop of blood from a person. There's got to be a common ground. There's got to be a fair deal for a vendor and for a buyer. But usually that common ground results in a really good result for everyone.
Yep.
Right? So my job, I feel like, is to find out my vendors' wants and needs, my buyers' wants and needs, correlate them together, and then find a happy place for both parties.
Because you have to negotiate, first of all, with the vendor. The vendor might think that their house is worth $5 million when it's really worth $3 million.
I don't take the listing on.
You won't take
Number
it on?
one, no.
If somebody's over-guessing or overestimating?
I've made a decision to myself, if I don't believe I can achieve that result for him, I'm not going to pour. As I said to you, I wear 30 hats during the campaign. You know, I put my blood, sweat and tears into every sale. Whether I'm selling a 2-bedroom unit in Wiley Park or a $5 million luxury home in Kingsgrove or whatever the case may be. It's the same energy that goes into every transaction and you can't tell me otherwise. So if I'm going to walk into something and my vendor is here and I just don't believe it's there and I don't believe I can deliver that to him, why am I going to pour all my energy, all my effort into it just to end up in saying you couldn't do the job when I knew it wasn't there? I'd much rather be the second agent he calls and he goes to me, shit, Karim, you're right. Can you come and help me out? I want getting the result for the current agent, whatever the case may be. And that's happened numerous times.
I'm always assisting the buyer in achieving finance, but dealing with a vendor, that's the hard job.
It's a very hard job.
Yeah, especially because sometimes they have the unrealistic expectations.
Well, everyone believes their house is worth a certain amount of dollars.
Yeah.
I'll go into many listing appraisals. It's funny. I'll walk around, I'll look at it, and then I'll say, out of curiosity, do you have any expectations? Oh, I've got no idea. I don't know. You're the professional. I give them a number. Oh, no way. It's worth more than that. I'm like, brother, you told me 5 minutes ago you have no idea. So clearly you have an idea. You just want to know what I'm thinking first, right?
You're not happy with the result.
Yeah. So
And the thing about your area is everyone is property savvy now.
let me take that back a bit. It's not my area, Joe. It is everyone is property savvy, period. There is this misconception that back in the day you could like go knock on an older person's home and try to convince them to sell their home and whatever this, that, and they wouldn't know. We're in the digital age. Everyone knows what their property is worth and they want 10 to 20% more than that.
Yep.
Understandably so. Like it's your biggest asset that you're ever going to move. We're not selling flat screen TVs.
Yeah.
We're selling $1 million homes here.
Yeah.
So I understand why the expectations are that way, but everyone knows what their property is worth these days because all you got to do is punch it into Google and there are like 10 different ways and sites that can tell you where your property is priced.
Another thing that you just mentioned, you said $1 million homes. To be able to sell these $1 million properties, you can't just market them and put up 4 pictures or even, do you remember the old real estate windows with the, it was like a little 16 centimeter square and the for sale, and it used to be like, $500,000. You can't do that anymore. It needs to be visible. People need to be able to imagine what it's like living there.
100%. We don't have anything on our windows. We don't have any TVs on our windows.
Yeah.
We have nothing. The only way you know where a real estate office is the big LED that says Mayfair Real Estate. Other than that, there's not one picture of a property in my office because where are all my buyers coming from? This device right here.
Yeah.
They're all being driven from that device right there.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
YouTube. Obviously, the big players, realestate.com and Domain.
Yeah.
That's where you generate majority of your leads.
Yeah,
But in saying that, my first ever sale in Mayfair was from social media on Instagram.
Really?
I literally put a picture up of a house that I had off market. One of my followers asked me about it. A week and a half later, they bought the house. It's documented.
Did that make you realize the power of social media?
I knew then what it could potentially do, but that solidified it for me. I've really focused in on using social media to the greatest advantage that I possibly can for real estate. And it's funny, I walk into listing pictures and I talk about social media and the vendor will say to me, oh yeah, the other agent said they do social media as well. I go, but do they really? They go, what do you mean? I go, what do you understand about social media? Oh, I don't know, I don't really use it. I go, are they doing targeted ads? Are they boosting their posts? Are they zeroing in on certain people?
Yeah.
I go, are they posting reels or are they just posting posts? Are they using hashtags? Are they tagging? And they just get blown away. I'm like, social media is not just putting up a picture and saying, I do social media marketing. That's not social media marketing.
No.
You have to understand the algorithm. You have to know what engages with who you're reaching, who your buyers are.
Yeah.
And I like to think, I'm not trying to beat my chest, but I like to think that's where we differentiate ourselves from the marketplace. And the results speak for themselves, the record-breaking results we've generated, and the viewership. Like you can just look on my socials and see numbers don't lie.
It's just a better way to tap into the market and to really engage your audience. Everybody needs a house. Everyone needs somewhere to live. No one wants to live with their parents for the rest of their life. And if they do, we got to have a conversation with them, okay?
Good luck to them.
My thing, I put up a video the other day, why it's more, how difficult it's going to be to live in rent for the rest of your life. So people need to be able to buy property and they need to be able to do that. And the best way to really engage a customer, especially anyone that's under the age of 25, is social media.
100%.
They're scrolling TikTok all the time. They're scrolling Instagram Reels.
I swear by it. Honestly, I can't speak highly enough of it. It's like the bread and butter of our business these days. And if you're not doing it, you're so far behind.
I have to ask you something because I saw it on your Instagram story the other day and you have to share us this picture. We saw a picture of you, Chantal, and the K-Roos brothers.
Yes. Oh, that's... I can't really talk about that at the moment.
This episode's releasing at the end of August.
No,
end of September.
It doesn't also directly correlate to real estate. So there's a couple of other things we're doing. So, but they're great guys, and what they're doing is a testament to the power of social media. Look what they've generated, what they built for themselves.
Yeah,
great guys, and they've used social media to a T. They've started this whole business around themselves and who they are just by being who they are.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. It's being genuine on social media. Some people can do it and maybe they're not comfortable in front of the camera or they try to be someone they're not. You'll get found out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, everyone knows straight away.
Yeah, you can pick it from a mile away. You just got to be who you are and give that to the public.
Did you ever get anxiety around posting a video or anything like that?
Look, I did drama in school, so I was always comfortable.
He was ready to go.
I was comfortable in front of the camera. I was comfortable on stage.
Yeah.
Somewhere inside of me, there's a budding probably actor/director.
Yeah.
I love theatre, I love movies. At the start, you do get a bit self-conscious about the content you're putting out and how it's going to... But then what I learned was a long time ago is you just got to really not give a shit. Like, put it out there and, excuse the language, give zero fucks about how it's taken.
True.
As long as I'm not hurting anyone or saying anything wrong, I'm going for gold.
Yeah.
And it's worked wonders for me.
Yeah, I have to agree with you.
Yeah, 100%.
My business is built on social media.
Yeah.
We get a lot of referral partnerships, and we get like yourself, for example, and we get a lot of accountants that, call us up, hey, can you assist someone? But the way we stay top of mind, and this is what I always try to explain to people, it's not about one post generating a lead. That post keeps you top of mind. Whether it's real estate, hairdressing, being a broker, any
Whatever
sort of thing.
industry.
Yeah.
Whatever industry.
It's such a massively powerful tool. And especially with this new TikTok 15 seconds, you have to be able to grab people's attention very quickly.
Very quickly. And there's lots of things, and you would know this because you're a pro of watching your videos. I've always admired them. It's the captions. It's what image are you using as your lead image for your reel? You gotta, there's such a science to it. And I think people don't realize the science that's involved in it. And it's all strategy and it's all knowing how to do it and do it correctly. So it's really, really important.
So how do you use social media? Now, don't reveal all your secrets, but how do you...
Got enough imitators out there.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
Greatest form of flattery.
Yeah, that's it, 100%.
How do you really capture someone's imagination when, let's say you're filming a video for a new listing that you've got?
So look, first and foremost, what I do is I like to shoot multiple videos for a listing.
Yeah.
So it's not just, so we'll have the traditional video that we'll upload on YouTube, which then goes to realestate.com. Now, I'm still very hands-on with that project. I'll be there with the video editor. I'll actually tell him how I want the video shot in terms of what theme I want. Do I want it fast-paced? Do I want it slow? Do I want it more editorial? Do I want to focus on certain parts of the house? I'm very hands-on. I'll pick the music. If I don't like the edit, I'll send it back. I'm like, no, I need you to chop this, I need you to add this, I need you to do that. It can be a pain in the ass for the editors, and I know they sometimes don't like it, but at the end of the day, I'm putting my name on something. I'm going to make sure the product is number one. And I've got a responsibility to my vendor to showcase their property in its best light. Then we'll do different videos. I'll do behind-the-scenes videos. So those behind-the-scenes videos that I've been doing are going absolutely bonkers on my socials. The viewership is through the roof. Because people don't just want to see a normal video of the same thing, bedroom, kitchen, living, pool, whatever. They want to see a little bit of interaction. So I kind of walk them through unofficially. I'll interact with people as we're filming. Photographers might be there, stylists might be there, my team might be there, whatever the case may be. It's a lot, it's condensed. I always keep it to 1:30 because that way we can sponsor the videos, There's a little trade secret, I better not reveal that too much. I just try to engage in different ways to different audiences because you don't want to see the same thing all the time. You want to keep it fresh, you want to keep it engaging, and you want to keep people always guessing and reaching out to me. And I can't tell you how many times people drop into my DMs. I get phone calls. I had a phone call from a builder. I sold a property for him about 3 months ago now, and he called me up. He saw a BTS that I did. He's like, man, I'm just calling you literally to say I saw your BTS and I loved it. He goes, I've got nothing else to say to you. He goes, I just wanted to give you feedback. And I was like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
That's what I want. That's, I'm not here for the pats on the back, but that positive feedback you get from people.
It's just nice.
It's great. Honestly, it feels good.
I've noticed a little bit of a change in certain culture where people will actually go out of their way to give you a compliment now if you're really good at what you do. There have been so many haters in this world, and there's so many people in the internet comments that whoever that builder is, give me his number. I'm going to call him and tell him I'm going to leave him a testimonial on his page as well.
Yeah.
Just because when you go out of your way and you do that, you make you probably make their year when something like that happens.
It doesn't take much to be kind.
Yeah.
That's the end of the story.
No effort,
you know what I mean? Zero effort. And that small act of kindness, you don't know how that can change someone's world.
It also triggers something in your brain. You've probably, because you're in a better mood or you hear that or something, you probably become more creative.
100% inspires you to do better.
Yeah.
And it's the most natural form of dopamine you can get.
Yeah.
Getting that in and hearing positive affirmations coming from someone that's got no reason to give it to you and doesn't want anything from you. Fuck, man, that's a good. That's
the fact that he even called you and didn't just leave a comment.
Honestly, that's it. It was great, So again, it just inspires me to keep doing what I'm doing, keep elevating the game. I always want to be changing. I never want to be stale.
Yeah.
Because as I said, I'll do something and then I'll notice I've got lots of agents that follow me. I notice I'll see a video and I'm like, like I literally, like I did a video very recently, I'm not going to talk which one, but I saw another agent post the same video 4 days later, like 100% exactly.
Oh, like shot for shot.
Shot for shot. And I was like, wow. And I was like, okay, well, it is what it is. Like, you know, these things are going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't get all my ideas organically. I sometimes see things and then I'll change them around and try to make them my own.
Yeah.
That's the difference,
But,
though.
yeah.
It's trying to make, you see an idea, you're inspired, and you're like, I'll do it a little bit like that, but you gotta make it your own.
Me and my business partner, Chantal, have always wanted to do a comedy sketch show based on real estate because we've got so many stories and it'll be like epic. But we'll do that when we're retired one day. So we don't have to call people out.
I always wanted to do. This was like a marketing idea I had, but what I wanted to do was create seasons of It's Simple Finance, and every 3 months we would reshoot a classic intro of a sitcom. So like one day we would be doing The Office, and like, you know, like the theme song, and then like it would have, you know, Joseph, and then this person, then this person, and then I thought, oh, why don't we go to a fountain and then jump around in a fountain and do the Friends one, you know, and then that way like it's just engaging the audience and getting them to laugh and be like, oh, what do you guys do here? But yeah, that was way too left of field, and I'm pretty sure it cost like $50,000 a video. So
We'll scrap that idea.
all of a sudden, Jennifer Aniston is at the fountain. Joey, who paid for this?
Let me know if she shows up.
Yeah, I will, 100%.
But look, just to kind of cap it off in terms of the role of a real estate agent.
Taking the wedding ring off for that one.
No wedding ring, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's all encompassing. That's all I can say. It's not what it is, and it's full on, and we work very hard for what we do.
Yeah.
Like, believe me, we work very hard for what we do.
Do you get like different kinds of what kind of clients do you usually get through social media? Like values of the houses. Like are these big clients with big bank accounts and stuff, or just sort of everyday people or lower end?
Man, it's a mixture of everything.
Everything.
Honestly, it is. I've got young people in their early 20s that reach out to me, looking to either maybe buy their first investment property or just want some advice.
Yeah.
I get the middle-aged, newlyweds. I get vendors looking to sell or asking me, you've sold that property, it's very similar to mine, can you come out and see my property?
Yeah.
I've had people reach out to me from Wollongong recently. 2 of them from Wollongong, because I saw we listed a house 2 weeks ago. It's now the #1 most viewed house in New South Wales and the #2 in the entire country.
Wow.
According to realestate.com.
Wow.
Yeah, so it went viral.
Yeah.
And I had an influx of people reaching out saying, your marketing is insane. What you do, how you market. And again, like that really made me feel really good about myself, because it showed, like my vendor loved hearing that. Like he loves the fact that his house is the #2 property in the entire country.
Yeah.
Like that's a pretty big start, man. You got over 160,000 listings on realestate.com, and we're 2.
Yeah.
You know, and we got over 60,000 listings in Sydney, in New South Wales, and we're 1. Like that's pretty kick-ass.
And that's going to attract a lot more vendors.
100%, because they'll now see the way we market, and they see that effort that I put into my marketing. And it's not cheap. Marketing is not cheap.
Nah.
It works.
100%. I swear by it.
So with the vendors, with, you know, attracting these people, how do you develop that reputation of trust? How do you develop the inclination of people wanting to go with you to either sell or buy a property from?
Yeah, great question, because I get asked that a lot about how you generate leads or whatever the case may be. I find the most authentic and genuine way is obviously referrals.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking to sell, Joe, and you're speaking to someone that you trust really well, a family member, a good friend, you're like, oh, I'm thinking of selling, and they say to you, hey man, reach out to Karim from Mayfair. I work with him, mate, what an experience, genuine, down the line, whatever. There's like, it's not me telling you that, it's someone else that you trust telling you that.
Yeah.
So automatically there's a level of trust there.
Yeah.
And I get so many phone calls like that.
Yeah.
Obviously results are a big thing. You know, you break a record in the area, people are going to see it, they're going to call you up and say like, wow, like I've got something similar to that. And that's how we've kind of, you know, doubled up and tripled up on all these results that we're getting, because we've broken records in Kingsgrove, in Roselands, in Belmore, in Belfield. So, and they just compile on top of each other. So I would say referrals is probably the biggest thing in our business, in terms of it's organic, it's natural, it comes to you. Obviously, you've got your old school ways of prospecting. You know, your door knocks, your letter drops, we still do all that old school stuff, phone calls. We don't shy away from it, because that's always going to be true and tested. Like people see it.
I had a letterbox drop the other day. Somebody wanted to sell, like, they's like, I've got a buyer for your house right now. I just kind of saw it. I can't even remember who put it in there. I can't remember who signed off. But I know for a fact, if it was one of the trusted agents in the area, I might have picked up the phone and I might have been like, hey, What's it worth?
Yeah.
Okay, what do they want to buy? Because I'm thinking to myself, like my wife and I were thinking about selling. We've been thinking about selling or, doing something because we don't want to live in our area for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Property, real estate, it's the number one thing in Australia. It's what we're always, doing or what we're all about. When I saw that letter, I never thought twice. But when you're a trusted agent, your name is out there and people want to work with you and you're getting those phone calls and you're getting those referrals and everything, there's a chance I would have picked up the phone.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's just a very big thing. You need to be able to hold, maintain, and grow your reputation. It's like I always say, how you do anything is how you do everything.
100%. How many times would you go into a house and see a calendar magnet on a fridge for a real estate agency? Right? And I sometimes still see them. But what are 90% of people doing at 7:30 at night on a weekday?
They're on TikTok.
They're doing this. They're scrolling, man.
Yeah.
That or Tinder, one of the two. They're scrolling. So the more times you can be in front of their face, the more times they're going to see me, they're going to see my name, my brand, they're going to start thinking, Karim, Mayfair, Karim, Mayfair, Karim. It's just going to correlate with that's the new.
Yeah.
And I can get in front of 50,000 people in a heartbeat.
Rather than one person in front of a fridge.
Right? And might go in the mail.
Yeah.
You get one of those things, you tear them up, goes in the mail.
So
Sorry, bin.
You get in the records, you've built such a trusted brand. Have you started thinking to yourself, I need to look into a new market? You mentioned Wollongong 2 moments ago. Or is that something that's still in the back burner? So
we're very blessed. We've got a really good business, we've got a really big office in a really thriving community, and it's a great business that we've built. We built from nothing. We started. So I'm not sure if most people know, but real estate businesses are valued from your rent roll, not from your sales. Like that's just the way. It's valued in terms of a financial perspective. So we started, with 0 properties when we started the business in our rent roll. I'm not going to tell you how many we have now, but it's fairly significant. And off the back of her hard work, she runs the rental department. So I got to give her all the kudos. She runs that side, and I run the sales side.
Yeah.
We obviously cross between each other, and I bring in clients, she brings in clients for sales, I bring in whatever the case may be. But sometimes it's good to have something, one really good thing, rather than 2 or 3 okay things.
Yeah.
And I think that's where my mind's taken me. Both of us, we're like really happy with having one really, really good business.
Yeah.
And thank God we have that. Rather than maybe like, do you expand and you lose a little from here? You don't, keep your eye on that. And
got a good thing going.
We've got a good thing going, so we're just going to continue to run with it and grow that thing. I'll continue to water the grass on this side.
There you go.
That's fantastic. Karim, thank you so much for coming on again.
Thanks for having me, guys.